Alright, it is Saturday morning and my air conditioning is blowing really loud, so I'm sorry about that, but I'm in my car and I decided that after however long it's been, 3 weeks that I've been in the house, other than briefly when my sister was here and we took a little drive just around Selma and explored a little bit. I haven't really been out of the house and we visited some friends and did some activities, but I haven't really gone and explored the area. And there is a farmer's market in a couple towns over that have delicious food, and I decided that today I was going to get out of the house. Discovered this morning that I have a drain issue. When I took my shower pan got very full of water and it took very long to drain out. I think I know what the problem is. I called Roto-Rooter. The first they can get someone here is Monday. So, it kind of limits. I'm a little afraid to put anything down any of the drains, so I'm not going to be doing any deep cleaning today where I'm going to dump buckets. I guess I could dump them out on the lawn, but my lawn could use mowing, but it's going to be in the 90s again today, and I didn't get up early this morning to do it. So, I just, in the painting thing yesterday, with not being able to get the paint I wanted, kind of sidelined some of my home improvement plans for the day, so for the weekend. I might stop at a different hardware store today and see if they can hook me up with what I need, but yeah, it's just, I just felt like, let's get out of the house, let's get a shower, get clean hair, get dressed, and hit the road a little bit. So it'll take you along. I don't know how much I'll video, but that's what I'm doing today. So let's go to the farmer's market. So I apologize for my dirty window. I tried to clean it the other day, and the gas station didn't have any squeegees or liquid in the squeegee things. But this is Old Cahawba archaeological site. Oh, wow. And I'm just going to do a drive-through today because one, it's hot, and two, I have fried chicken in my hamper and I didn't bring silverware to eat it, or I would have a picnic here. I didn't think this out. This was just, I saw the sign and I decided to turn down this way. And so, actually, I see a sign that says that there's an entrance fee, and I don't want to just drive through and not pay the entrance fee, but on the other hand, I don't really want to pay the entrance fee right now when I don't have time to really explore. But this is cool. I'm definitely coming back because of my love of history. I want you to, so my phone's not going to let me turn that way. There's an old church here. It's really, I mean, just the little bit that I just drove around and turned around. But this was Alabama's first state capital, and I believe, if I remember what I've read, that this also may have been a Native American settlement prior to that. But I'm just going to take you on a little country drive here. It's a beautiful drive into here. And when it's not 90 some degrees and buggy, and I either come prepared with my basket of fried chicken to have a picnic, or don't come here when I got food I want to eat in my car, then I'll come back and explore, because this is really cool. There's a Civil War POW memorial and a cemetery. I guess we can imagine which side was the POWs here. Hope their ghosts don't get attached. But I love history. I just love. I love archaeology. And so exploring this area will be very interesting to me. I'm sure they have events and things as well, so I think I've liked and subscribed to their stuff on Facebook and social media so I can find out more. This God's drive is bringing me joy. Everything is about finding a way to bring a little bit of joy to even the shittiest days. So today has not been a shitty day, but the last couple days have been a little stressful. So a little drive in the country brings me back to my roots, even though my roots aren't here in the South. And seeing all the green and seeing all the trees, and knowing this is just minutes from my house. Friends asked me when I was decided to leave Chattanooga if I was going to miss the mountains and, you know, all the beautiful hike. There's a cow. Mountains and trails and hiking in Chattanooga. And while the answer is somewhat yes, I am a flatlander from the Midwest. And those mountains and hills were challenging, to say the least, to me. The heat is still challenging to me, but it gets hot up north. It's been in the 90s this last couple weeks up there too. So the heat is something that I know how to live with. I wonder if this is where I'm supposed to turn. Yes, it is. Okay. So this kind of countryside feels like home. These big open skies feel like home. These two-lane state roads feel like home to me. Oh, there's some black-eyed Susan Rebecca growing in the ditch banks. I was thinking that as I was driving through here, I wonder what kind of wonderful wild medicine grows in some of these wild areas. There's a trailhead right there. I should have stopped and checked it out. But that's what today is about. Just get out in my car a little bit and see what's outside my little neighborhood that I still haven't even explored that much. Just to see what's out here, what I can learn. I can look forward to exploring when the weather cools off a little bit, or when I have a little more time. Some wild areas, some tick-infested, Sasquatch-infested areas. I don't know. Some of this area out here in rural Alabama feels very. My car's got a little wiggle. All right, there we go. Look at that sky. I did miss the sky, and I remember my older brother and sister-in-law. My only brother, I guess. It doesn't matter if he's older or younger, but he is older. Moved to Marin County, California, way back in the early 80s. Oh, I just saw some crossvine. When they first got married, before they had their kids, while their oldest daughter was born out there. They only stayed a year. I'm sure there's a number of reasons why they came back. I've heard some of them, but I do recall my brother saying he's a Midwestern boy, and those hills and mountains of the San Francisco area, Marin County area, he never felt like, he felt claustrophobic because he couldn't see the sky because of all the mountains and ridges and hills. And after moving to Tennessee and living there for 6 years, I know what he's talking about. When I would get out a little further outside of the area where it was a little up on the plateau, or go down into Georgia, was a little more open in some areas, I felt like I could breathe again. I felt a little more open. Or you get up on the ridge or up on the mountain and you can look out. But then I felt a little vertigo, because as we've discussed with my ladder situation, I'm not a big fan of heights. Well, again, I'm afraid of falling. I'm not afraid of the height. But it wasn't the same. Yeah, you can see the sky, but just these long, flat, these are curvy. Back where I came from, they were all straight 1 mile grids, but roads, country roads. This makes me feel at home. This makes me feel very comfortable. And I like it. I really do. So I'm just going to keep driving. I'm almost back to the road that becomes the road that is right down just on the corner of my block from my house. It goes right back into Selma. So thanks for joining me on my little Saturday midday drive. And really hope Sasquatch would step out on the road here while we were driving, and then I'd have a real viral video. But I don't think it's his. If he's wearing a fur coat all day long, he's probably found a hollers. That's from Tennessee. I think we have hollers down here in Alabama. I don't know what we got down here, but he's found a swamp or something to lay low in during the heat of the day. And probably not his time of day to come out wandering, but you never know what we might find. So thanks again. Look at that sky. Oh, those big clouds. It looks like there might be potential for a little storm later today. That's my okay, we went from Alabama to Tennessee. Let's go back to Chicago. That's my Tom Skilling prediction for you today, that there might be a bit of a storm coming through, but I got to turn back on the main road, so I'm going to stop recording. Have a good day, y'all. Okay, so I want to show you this before I dive in and eat it. I got the meat and two. Oops, sorry for my jingly keys. And got a nice piece of chicken breast, cornbread, beans, and potatoes. And banana pudding. I'll stick that in the fridge. That might be, I don't know. I'll probably eat it right now. But brought this home. I got to get a little butter on for my cornbread, or honey or something. I don't know. I don't know what the proper thing to do is, but I'm diving in. It looks good.